Kermode Uncut. I'm joined by international film journalist Alan Jones, and we have here with us Nick Winding Refn's new book, The Act of Seeing. Alan worked with Nick Refn on this book. Alan, what is it?
What it is a collection of posters. To cut a very long story short, a few years ago, Nicolas bought a collection of Andy Milligan movies, which he donated to the BFI, and they put out a couple of releases. The guy he got them from, he said, look, I've also got this collection of exploitation, sexploitation posters. And he said to Nicolas, will you buy these from me? And Nicolas said, yeah, sure. So anyway, these boxes all turned up in Copenhagen in Nicolas's office. And he was going through them, and literally his wife said, oh my God, this is a load of rubbish, absolute load of rubbish. And then Ryan Gosling came over, and he was going through the boxes himself, and he started taking photographs of some of the posters. And Nicolas said, oh, what are you doing? And he said, well, actually, these are really quite good and very artistic. And as a result of that, he decided to put a selection of the posters in this book.
So we have here this collection of posters. What's the unifying theme of them?
Anything that has moved him and has given him an image shock from a hyperbole point of view, like the strapline being so overdone, the image on the posters. The whole point about this book is that he edited the selection of posters like he would edit a film. They follow through. So what you are literally seeing here is a new work by Nicolas Winding Refn.
Show us a couple of selections from the book of posters that you think are important.
Important. Well, I'm going to show you this one, because the X-rated supermarket.
Yes.
Now, I defy you to find anything on this movie anywhere in the world.
It is an orgy full of gourmet delights. Gals go to the store and wind up on the floor.
It's true. I could not find anything on it. And then we found out that Tim League, who runs the Fantastic Fest film in Austin, had a print of it. So actually, for the film, we actually all watched it to actually see for the film. We must have been the only audience since like for 40 years.
Is it any good?
Oh, absolutely terrible. But that's actually not the point. Nicolas calls it the most expensive book ever made about films you've never heard of.
Show me another one.
I loved this one because you can actually see the drawn-on handbag. And can you see where the expletive has been sort of like covered over? This is a takeoff of the blow-up poster, or the La Dolce Vita poster. You know as well as I do, they would often take a trend and copy it. So sometimes you'd see, like, there's a film here called The Graduate, The Sex Graduate, which is obviously from The Graduate.
Yeah. So here's what's important. You say it's a book of films you've never heard of. How have these films influenced Nick Refn's work? I mean, obviously, he's celebrated at Cannes. He's an internationally renowned filmmaker. He's pretty much a household name. These are unheard of films. How have they influenced him?
Because he likes extremes in all his work. And he thinks these are extreme versions of posters of what they should be like. I mean, back in those days, you had to sell. You can't do it now. I mean, it's illegal to do it this way. But back then, you could like promise anything on a poster and get away with it, even from a visual, from a strapline. The most scariest film you've ever seen, the sexiest film you've ever seen. But so that's what really he likes the most about it.
Do you think there is a role for this kind of archiving? Nowadays, we kind of imagine that everything's on the internet, everything's on the IMDb, but there is material in here that there isn't any secondary sort of record of. Is part of what you're trying to do establish some constant archive of stuff that would have been forgotten? Yeah,
I think so. The one thing that's sort of upsetting is the fact that Nicolas only wants one print run of this. This is what he sees this as. He doesn't see it as a book. He sees it as a proper Nicolas Winding Refn work. So that's
this is
one of the
effectively
reasons.
his next film, but it just happens to be a book.
Exactly. You've got it in one.
Alan Jones, thank you very much.